What is up, folks? It's me, your host, as always, your boy, What's Up, Riv, coming at you with episode number 19 of the Right from the River podcast. How you guys doing today? It is a bright and sunny Colorado afternoon here in the mile-high city of Denver. Super pretty today. It's like 75 degrees right now. The sun's still shining. It's like 6:50 right now. That's one of the many benefits of summer being right around the corner is you get good ass weather, and you get it for a lot longer than you get the shit dark winter weather. Ugh, fucking. So I grew up here in Colorado, so I guess, used to the winter, but I get sick of the cold a lot quicker than I get sick of the heat. Let's just say that. I prefer if it was warmer all the time. Not related to global warming though. Like, I wish it was warmer without knowing that we're slowly destroying the earth by making it warmer. But I digress. Hope you're having a good day today. How's your guys' Tuesday treating you? Did you get that? Did you get that root canal taken care of? Did you make sure to get your tags updated on your car? Did you contact the med office to get your updated badge because you still haven't gotten it in the mail after 2 months? Cause I did. I had to contact the med about that. That's fun. I was gonna go pick up my Okay, so a little backstory. For whatever fucking reason, since I moved into this apartment complex, I've been having issues getting mail here. I don't know why, but it's super difficult, like, just making sure that I get mail here consistently. Like, certain things will get here just fine. Like, I'll order packages from, like, jewelry websites. I'll buy new plugs and gauges and things. Those get here just fine. I just got a jury duty summons. No fucking problem. Surprise, surprise. But last year, I was trying to file an application to join the Cherokee Nation, and I didn't receive any of the fucking letters back that I was supposed to use to like continue the process. And so my fucking process lapsed and it expired because I wasn't getting the mail for that. And so, yeah, it just really pissed me off with that. And then now I'm having issues with my med badge because if you don't know, here in Colorado, you need a med badge. It's a medical marijuana enforcement division badge. It's what you need if you want to work in the industry. 21 and up, blah, 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 blah. I had to get mine renewed a couple months ago. And so I did the renewal process online. They said they were going to mail me my stuff in February. They said, surprise, surprise, my fucking product was returned, despite the fact that the address was verbatim on the package what is on my driver's license. So I asked them to send it again. Here we are 2 months after that. Still haven't gotten my med badge. And when I reached out to them, they didn't get it returned either. So it's not there. It's just floating in this like primordial void that is the bullshit that is the fucking post office. And yes, I am a little heated about that just because every time I've tried to like get this issue resolved, the post office and whoever, our apartment complex, the people who own the apartment complex, everybody I fucking contact is pretty much just kind of like, they're like, man, that's crazy. That sucks. Well, good luck. You know, like it bothers the shit out of me because I'm not getting important mail and nobody fucking cares. But of course, I'm the one that faces the repercussions for it. You know, I didn't get the mail for my Cherokee application. The U.S. Post Office doesn't lose anything for that. Doesn't damage their reputation. But now I have to restart the entire fucking process of applying to become part of the Cherokee tribe again. So it's, see, like, I'm the one picking up the pieces when everybody else says, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to get heated. That's not what today's podcast episode is about. Well, actually, let me reiterate that. Today's podcast episode isn't me getting heated about my disdain for the United States Post Office. Today, we're talking a little bit about the history of my least favorite herb out there, but it seems to be a majority of the American population's favorite fucking seasoning, cilantro, aka coriander, if you tend to eat more Vietnamese food, just because it tends to be called coriander in more like Vietnamese dishes. But yes, we're going to be talking about that shit today and how much I hate cilantro and the actual scientific and genetic reasons behind why me, along with a sliver of our population, hate this godforsaken devil's lettuce. But before we get into that, nice little segue. Speaking of the devil's lettuce, we're going to start today off with the famous, the lovely, the always entertaining, the beginning of the bit, bong rip. That's right. Here we are, episode 19, and I still don't have a bong again yet. I can't remember how many episodes it's been. I want to say it's been at least like since episode 12 or 11 since I've used an actual bong for the beginning of the bit, bong rip. But hey man, that's part of the glory, part of the beauty that it is being a stoner is, excuse me, we're fucking resourceful, man. If you don't have what you need right here and now, well, then you'll just make use of something else. And if you don't have something to make use of for the time being, you can literally just make something. And that's the beauty, and that's the resourcefulness that helped civilization expand and progress to where we are today, regardless of if you're a stoner or not. I think that's one of the coolest traits about humans. Little off trail here, but I think that's one of the coolest traits about humans is the fact that like we're resourceful as fuck. We know how to not only use our hands to make things, but we know how to use our hands and the resources readily available in our immediate environment to create something that we need. And that's fucking awesome, man. That is truly where human intelligence sets us apart. But yeah, just my opinion on that. I don't know. I think it's cool. Some of the shit, a lot of the shit that humans do, not the biggest fan of. Like the racism and the wars and the genocide and the poverty. All that shit that humans do, that stuff fucking sucks. But we have these little minute actions, these little details, these like, not innuendos, nuances that just make us cool. And I think that's one of them is our resourcefulness. And before I move on from this random ass topic, another trait that I think is really cool that humans can do is hugging. Because think about it. How many animals out there can really hug? I mean, you got like other primates, you got monkeys and things like that, you know, other animals that are bipedal or semi-bipedal that hug each other like that. But for the most part, you see videos of like humans hugging their livestock or hugging cats and dogs, horses and shit like that. It's like, I think that's really cool because these animals not only find comfort in it, but they are able to recognize that association with us using this action as a way to bring comfort. I think it's cool. I think that's kind of cool if you think about it, you know. Hugging is a pretty awesome thing that humans can do. And I think humans should hug more because it's actually been scientifically proven. I got to look up these sources because it's been a minute since I read about it. But hugging lowers anxiety levels. It lowers your blood pressure and it makes you feel a sense of calm. So there is like physical and mental benefits to hugging each other. So yes, I think that's the coolest thing that humans, one of the coolest things that we can do is fucking hug. It's so simple. That's why I think it's so cool, because it's so simple. It's not something super extravagant that only a sliver of the human population can do. Like a majority of humans can, in some form or another, hug another being. And that's fucking awesome. But yeah, we're already 8.5 minutes into the podcast. We still haven't smoked yet. What the fuck are you talking about, River? Favorite human traits? What? That's not what today's episode's about. But we're bringing it back. We're wrapping it back up to the beginning of the Bit Bong Rip. Today, the strain that we're smoking, it's a strain that has made many appearances on the podcast previously. It's my favorite, the best, the peppery, the gassy, the kind of, I guess, tang. I don't know. It's a good fucking strain. It's Birthday Dog. It's back again. I still have a good amount of it because I don't have a medical card right now. So I've been buying my my cannabis, because we talked about it last episode. I've been buying it from a rec shop. That's not bad. I live close to the rec shop. It's cool getting to once you get past the ridiculous amount of taxation they do to you, it's kind of cool to go to a rec shop. Just the novelty of it all. But yeah, so I'm trying not to smoke too crazy. So I still have some of the strains that have appeared on the past few episodes of the podcast. So yeah, luckily there are a couple of my favorite strains. So we're going to celebrate that today, or celebrate smoking our favorite strains, I guess. I don't know. I'm fucking losing track. Beginning of the Bit Bong Rib, we got the Birthday Dog coming in at a whole almost 10 fucking minutes into the podcast already. Shut up, River. Let's smoke. Cheers, you guys. Good smoke. Good smoke. You think that's how like ancient humans were when they found out cannabis was like smokeable? They're like, me like smoke. Good smoke. Good smoke. Me like. Oh my god. Ooh. Yeah, that was crispy. That was a good one. See, that's why I fucking love the Birthday Dog. It just has such a distinct, like, pungent taste to it. I love it. It's great shit, man. If you can find Birthday Dog in your local area, snag that shit up, man. It's some good stuff. And it's true to form with a couple of other episodes of podcasts with a decent amount. I got some vape pens here too. I got 2 different vape pens. Got one with a little bit of rosin left in it. It's an Oleo rosin cart. No, it's Natty Rems. It's not Oleo. It's the Natty Rems. I think cherry cake rosin cart. Very tasty. I like it though. And then on the other vape, we have I'm not as big a fan of this one, but it's still fun if you want the novelty of flavored carts. We have the Batch brand, Peachy Keen, full gram, peach and mango flavored distillate cart. Yeah, it's okay. I'm not the biggest fan of peach. Like, I like peaches, like the real fruit, but I don't like peach flavored things. It's always, I don't know, it tastes like, if I'm being honest, it tastes like a mixture of feet and ass. Like, sometimes artificial peach flavor is just artificial feet flavor. Yuck. But this one's okay. It's not bad. Like I said, I mean, it's definitely real strong in that peach flavor, so But I've had worse carts. I've had carts that straight up taste like you're smoking sulfur, that taste like you're smoking burnt hair. So this is not anywhere near the bottom of the list of carts I've tried. But if you are a fan of the flavored carts, it's not bad. It's like a good flavor to it. I mean, it's a strong flavor. Let's say that. And yeah, I mean, shit, at the dispensary I work at, a lot of people buy it. People seem to be down with it. They fucks with the Peachy Keen cart. That, and I think also the name helps with it. It's Peachy Keen. But from that same brand, Batch, because like they have other like regular distillate carts that are like strain specific, but they have a couple of like fruit flavored ones that are different from the Peachy Keen. But what is it? They have Dazzleberry, which personally to me tastes like cotton candy. Then they have Schwarzberry, which is just like a generic berry flavored cart. It's not bad. If you like berries, it's good. And then they have the Raz Lemon, which is definitely, I would say, my top out of theirs. It's a raspberry lemonade flavor, and it's not bad. Like, anything with lemon typically tends to make me cough like a motherfucker. I think that just has to do with like the limonene terpenes or some shit like that. I don't know the science behind it, but every time I smoke something that's like tangy, orangey, lemony, whatever, like citrusy, it makes me cough like a fucker. But the Raz Lemon's good. Super tasty, like raspberry flavor with a nice lemon finish. But yeah, once you start getting towards the bottom of the cart, it made me cough like a son of a bitch. Every single hit. It'd be like a little itty bitty baby hit, and I'd be coughing my lungs out from it. Didn't like it. Well, didn't like that aspect of it. But anyway, I digress. We're already 13 minutes into the podcast, and your boy is killing it with the digressions. So yes. I did have a topic that I wanted to come into this episode with. I promise you guys. Like, I actually wanted to talk about something today. Damn it, and I keep cracking my knuckles too. Stop doing that. I'm cracking my knuckles like right next to the fucking microphone. You don't realize how well this mic picks things up until you crack your knuckle, or you drop a vape pen on your wood coffee table and it just makes a loud smack, or you bump the little like noise filter, what is it, audio screen I have around the mic. I'm saying I have a very sensitive microphone. I'm very good at leading you the long way around a simple point. Sorry, I'm trying to get this fucking Peachy Keen vape turned on. Keep shit talking it, but now I'm like, wait, let me taste it. I'm like, I need to taste it so that I could confirm that, yeah, I don't like that flavor. Isn't it weird that's a trait that I find weird about humans, is we'll do shit like that. Or we don't like the smell, we don't like the taste, we don't like the consistency of something, so we have to like double check. We have to like process that information again. You like taste something, you're like, oh, that's so bad, and then you take another taste and you're like, yeah, no, that's bad. Like, we're so fucking weird in that sense. But honestly, I'd prefer those quirks over the war and the genocide and the poverty and the negative so on, if you catch my drift. Oh, this is such a bad like cart. It was so like the cart that I'm using the Peachy Keen cartridge on, or the battery, I guess, that I'm using the cart on. It's like a Eureka palm battery. So it's in the shape of a square, so it fits really nice in your palm. It fits a little better in the pocket too. I'm I'm a thick boy. I'm a thick man. So I got a little extra weight on my bones. So I don't like necessarily always keeping the vape pen in my pocket, because sometimes my little thighs or like my little belly meats will like kind of push on the pen and it might like make them crooked and fuck the battery up and stuff. So I do like the palm batteries because it fits better in the pocket, but I don't know. I've had, let's just say I had 3 palm batteries. I got all at the same time. I've had them all for like a year and a half, and all of them except one are broken. And the one that's not broken is definitely on its way out. Like it's just fucking dying on me. You can tell the connection's not really 100% on the fucking base. So yeah, cool concept, but I mean, I bought this a year and a half ago. It's the weed industry. I'm sure that they have a new and improved model that fixes all the kinks of the generation that came, like you know what I'm saying. I'm sure they have something that fixed all the kinks that I'm complaining about with the battery. So yes, actually wanted to lead into something. I've said it 3 times already. God dang it. God dang it, Bobby. I tell you what. That was bad. I'm actually like, not to toot my own horn, but a toot toot toot. I'm not bad at my Hank Hill impression, but that was a really bad throwaway right there. So yes, we have a topic for the 4th time. We're solidifying it. But let me take a drink real quick before we get into it because, ooh, your boy is opinionated. Ew. I hope that the microphone didn't catch that video game-esque sounding gulp I just took from my yerba mate. It's a gulp. Sounds horrific. So anyway, what is this fucking topic you keep bringing up, River? And why don't you actually just talk about it already? We know you want to bring a topic up. Just bring it the fuck up. You already said what it was earlier. Just talk to us about it. So you're right. I'm sorry. My bad. My bad, you guys. I didn't bring up the topic. So yeah, that's all for me today. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I want to talk about cilantro. We're talking about the worst herb ever to hit mankind. The true devil's lettuce. The one, the only cilantro. If you're not from the United States or like popular or like really into Mexican food, it's also called coriander. It's very popular in Vietnamese dishes as well. But yeah, so yeah, not a fan of cilantro, and I'll explain why. I did mention a little bit earlier that it is a genetic, scientific reason as to why some people really don't like cilantro. So we will get into that. But I kind of wanted to start off with just a little bit of a history about it real quick, just so you guys know the beast that I'm going to be shit talking today. So yes, the herb is it was originally known as coriander when it was named by the Romans, but it existed before the Romans. It was, Jesus. See, this is why I'm not good at public speaking. My guy, we're 19 episodes in. So we're talking about cilantro. It's an herb, very common in a lot of dishes, but it's also known by the names of coriander, Chinese parsley, and it's called Mexican parsley sometimes, but a lot of like Spanish speakers and Americans call it cilantro. Cilantro. No me gusta cilantro. Lo siento, But yeah, so I fucking hate it. Just to give you a little history of my disdain with it, because it tastes gross to me. It doesn't necessarily taste like soap to me, but it's like a really distinct, like just disgusting flavor that I get from cilantro when I eat it. And the closest thing I can describe it to is like black licorice. Not necessarily in like similarity of flavor, but just because it's so distinct and it makes your fucking like nose curl the instant you taste or smell it, Like if you eat black licorice, you know right away that you ate black licorice. You know that flavor. And to me, cilantro just has this really specific, like cleaning utensil, just like flavor and smell to it. It's just, I hate it. I hate it. It does, I guess it does kind of have like a soapy kind of element to it in the flavor, to me personally. But to the rest of the world and to many other people, cilantro is described as having like a tart, lemon, lime, citrusy kind of taste, which I can get why people like it then. I get why it's popular in like a lot of more acidic dishes and things like that. If it adds like a citrusy kind of flavor, like cool, that's dope. Good for fucking you. You can actually taste the cilantro. I can't. But despite the fact that there is a small population of people like me in this world, in our history, cilantro, coriander, whatever you'd like to call it, we're going to call it cilantro because I'm American and I live in Colorado. So we get a lot of Californian influence. We get a lot of Mexican influence. So there's a lot of cilantro in our food. But it's been a part of human history for a long time. Like there were even containers of coriander found in King Tut's tomb. And coriander was not like it's still to this day isn't a plant that like grows naturally in that area in like the northern Africa and stuff. So that was kind of like confirmation by finding this processed herb in King Tut's tomb that humanity had been farming it by that point. So they were farming coriander, which gross. The nerve, the nerve. No, but yes, around the time the ancient Greeks or ancient Egyptians were harvesting coriander, so were Greeks, and that's actually I think it was like either Greek or Roman, but it was one of those two civilizations that actually gave it the name coriander because it supposedly it comes from some like ancient Latin word meaning like bed bug or something like that. But it's because cilantro has this musty kind of smell, which apparently I guess they related to bed bugs. Which gross. Gross. See, that tells you all you need to know about the herb. It smells like bugs and it tastes like soap. What the fuck? Why does the world like it so much? But yes, so we know that the Greeks and the ancient Greeks, ancient Egyptians, they grew and cultivated coriander themselves. But probably asking, where the hell did this shit come from? Like, where did it come from originally? Well, coriander grows naturally over a lot of parts of Western Asia and Southern Europe, but it's believed to have originated in the Middle East. Specifically, there's portions of like Israel and things like that where there's some like I don't know. There's some versions of like natural coriander there that seem like tough and rigid. So they're like, oh, this is probably what it was taken from and domesticated from, kind of thing. You know, if that makes sense. But yes, nowadays, of course, the world is obsessed. Let's be honest. America is obsessed with Vietnamese and Mexican food. Everybody loves their birria tacos. Everyone loves their pho. People want their fucking cilantro. They want their cilantro. Everybody wants their street style tacos, their elote, so on, so on, so on. So there's always cilantro in it. Everybody loves decorating shit with cilantro. But it leads into the next thing. Mexico is apparently the largest exporter of cilantro in the world. So despite the fact that this herb originated from the Middle East and was popularized in a lot of parts of like Asia and even like Middle Eastern foods, fucking Mexico took that shit and ran with it. And I think that's also a beautiful thing about like Mexican culture is it's Mexico is a combination of so many different groups of people, from like the indigenous Mesoamerican people to like the Spanish colonists to like so on, so on. There's people from everywhere. Like that's just the history of America, North and South America. You know, like unless you're indigenous Native American and indigenous American here, then your odds are you're going to be a mixture of a bunch of people that came to this area. So yeah, Mexico took the herb and they ran with it. Mexico is the largest exporter of cilantro in the world, and California is the largest cultivator of cilantro in the United States, which makes sense because I hate to stereotype people, but Californians love their goddamn cilantro, man. That, and I've noticed Texans too. Maybe that's just me being a Colorado native, just shitting on California. I'm not even shitting on them, just talking smack on Texans and Californians. But I have noticed that a lot of people from these two places definitely love this herb. Like when I bring up the fact that I don't like it, people are always like, "Oh, why you don't like cilantro? What?" Like mind blown. I'm like, yeah, it's garbage. I hate it. It tastes like the best way I could describe it with cilantro too is sometimes I feel like a shark. Like if I'm eating a bowl of pho and there's only like a leaf of cilantro in this big ass bowl of pho, I'll still taste the cilantro because of that little leaf. It'll be a little baby leaf in there, but I'm like, who put cilantro in here? I'm like, there's a piece of a stem or something like that. Like I know there's something in here, but I'm like a cilantro shark because sharks can smell a drop of blood and X amount of gallons of water. I'm like that with cilantro. I can taste a leaflet in a whole bowl of broth kind of thing. But yeah. Like I said, despite the fact that I hate it, the world fucking loves it. They love it so goddamn much. Yeah, everybody's putting cilantro in their dishes, which makes sense because, I mean, I think about a lot of the herbs that I use in cooking, like rosemary, thyme, basil, just all this stuff. They're very popular herbs because they taste good. They add something to the dish that nothing else really does, and so that's why we throw it in there. But still, fuck cilantro. But yeah, everybody has a preference to cilantro. Some people just don't like it, maybe just because they're indifferent to it. But the reason that I hate it like I hate it and a small sliver of the population hates it too, is because of an actual like genetic differentiation in our coding. So I know that's wild to think, but legitimately there is a genetic reason why there are some people that think cilantro tastes like soap when a majority of the population doesn't. But it has to do with a variation in a cluster of olfactory receptor genes. I looked it up, so I got it written right here. It's a variation in a specific gene. It is the OR6A2 gene. And this cluster of genes is also associated with our body's ability to detect aldehydes. And bear with me, folks, but aldehydes are an organic chemical compound that are commonly found in things like perfumes, soaps, cleaning solutions. And so that's why people say cilantro tastes like soap, is because you're able to detect the aldehydes in the leaves that other people that don't have this genetic differentiation taste. So it's literally, it's not just like, ew, I don't like the flavor. It's not just like people having hard opinions on cilantro. Like literally on a sensational level, it tastes different to us. So that's wild. That blows my mind. Like, that blows my mind. It's crazy to think, man. But yeah, so it's because of the aldehydes, and it's because of genetics. And I also confirmed the genetics because my mom hates cilantro. I got an auntie who hates cilantro. My grandfather hates cilantro. But it's funny because, like, I've noticed that when it comes to this herb, people either, like, hate it or they're, like, fairly indifferent to it. You know? Like, I'll be like, oh, I fucking hate the flavor. And people are like, I mean, it's not bad. They're like, it's not my favorite thing in the world, but like, it's not terrible. It just makes me laugh because I'm like, no, I take this such a strong stance on it. And people are like, all right, dude, chill. Like, it's not the end of the world. And I'm like, you know, but it's funny. I guess you can also, apparently there are studies that say you can overcome the flavor of cilantro, the soapiness of it, by continuously eating it and adding it to your diet. But I'm a stubborn motherfucker, and I come from a family of stubborn mofos. So, no, fuck you. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to purposefully ruin my food so that I could just build an indifference to cilantro. Fuck that. Then what would I be making podcast episodes about if I was indifferent to it? Come on. That's silly. Sorry, I needed another sip. But another funny thing is, they actually, like, people have done studies on this shit just to figure out why, you know, it's just like they do studies on anything else. Why don't people like cilantro? But apparently the regions of the world where cilantro tends to be of higher popularity, there tends to be a lower density of people who don't, or who taste the herb like soap, if that makes sense. So in areas where cilantro is more popular, there's a lesser population of people who think it tastes differently, which is kind of interesting. And that also explains why this herb did gain such popularity in these areas, because if people aren't as genetically prone to hating it, then obviously, like, like just that sentence itself explains it. If you're not genetically prone to hating it, then odds are you're going to like it. Especially if it's just food or some shit like that. But yeah, just wanted to go on a quick rant about that. Just because, like, I don't know. Because, like I said, I strongly, passionately don't like cilantro. And so many people that I meet are fairly just indifferent about it. People don't really care about cilantro one way or another. But it makes sense, though, because it's like, I mean, it just tastes like a regular herb to you. That'd be like if someone came up to me and was like, man, fuck basil. I hate the way basil tastes. I'd be like, what? What? Like, what? You know? But it's just because it's just like, it's a normal thing to me. So it's not something that I consider having a weird taste. So yeah, I can see why people might be a little taken back by my strong stance on the horrible, horrible devil's lettuce that is cilantro. But yeah, I mean, that was really all I really wanted to like rant about for this episode. Didn't want to get too crazy with it. You know, I mean, we're ranting about an herb. So, you know, if you guys can't handle the heavy topics of the podcast, then I don't know what to say to you, dog. That's just the shit we handle here. We be talking about them heavy topics like why I don't like cilantro in my pho or on my street tacos. Silly. I love it though. I feel like that must mean that we're in a decent place in society where I can complain about the foods I don't like, you know. That says something about privilege. Let's take a moment to acknowledge that. I know people don't like hearing that word, but that's like a first world privilege where I can complain about like, oh, I found a leaflet of cilantro in my food, you know? Let's just take a moment to appreciate the fact that we can not only talk about those things, but laugh about them and chuckle about it. Because damn, man. You know how humans are. I've mentioned it twice already in the podcast. You know how humans are with the war, the fucking war. I say humans, but we really know it was Los Hombres. Like, let's be real, dog. Let's be honest here. We know it was Los Hombres starting all the wars. Even like the Trojan War was over Helen of Troy, but it was Los Hombres that started the fucking thing. So yeah. Long story short, fuck cilantro, but you guys are awesome. And thanks for listening to the podcast, man. I think I'm probably going to wrap it up here. We're reaching on the 31-minute mark. It was actually 31 minutes and 31 seconds. So yeah, I'm going to take that as a sign from the gods above, or the universe above, the energy that holds us all together, or the vast primordial nothingness, whatever you fucking believe in. I'm going to take it as a sign that it is a good time to wrap up this episode. So yes, thank you guys for tuning in today for episode 19. As always, it's your host, What's Up, Riv? And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Comment down below. Tell me what you think. What's your guys' stance on cilantro? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Or is this really your first time that you've actually considered that you might have a stance with cilantro? Either way, I'd love to hear some engagement from you guys. I'd love to hear what y'all are thinking. Again, thank you for tuning into the episode 19 of the Right from the River podcast. I will catch you guys next time. Y'all be safe out there. I love y'all. Peace out. Peace.